Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time to do more of this, but I forgot this guy's voice. Shoot. Let's go. February 16, 1:14 p.m. on Phoenix Wright 3, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Mr. Fowler, yeek, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to say thanks, you're really good. You really hooked me up. Thanks, we're almost there. Once I prove that you committed the crime... Museum. Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information? Right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Museum. Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lied. Mr. Fowles, in that case... Oh, false. I get it. Mr. False, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day 5 years ago, I dreamt of it every day. This picture, it reminds me of everything. The bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Huh. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. It's true, I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. It's always Dahlia Hawthorne! It's always Dahlia! Your girlfriend? Huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? How come he doesn't connect with that Dahlia? Girl, let her go. Shut up. You come closer and I'll kill her. How old were they? She was 14, right? Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betrayed us. What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping, too. A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia, my girlfriend, my love, my teen angel. Okay, how old are you? Wait. He's 25! He was 20 and she was 14? Wait a moment here. Yeah, he was 20 and she was 14. Okay. What's the legal age in Japan again? 13? Or 16? Is it 14? Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. I'd do anything she says, anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel, that's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote a kidnap note we sent to her dad. That's for $2 million diamond. That'll make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We telling Valerie to make transfer because she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman... That woman, Valerie. So did she do it for real? She shoot at me for real, man, Dahlia. Bang! I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jumped in river. Apparently I should have voiced him like Hulk because of the way he talks. Hulk dropped Dahlia in river. Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out and wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Fowles, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. Balls! These 5 years, all I wonder is why? 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 Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forgot what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear an answer come from her mouth, that's all. So that's why. That's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. False. Where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really, I don't know. It's gone with Dahlia. With Dahlia? That day on the bridge, Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone with Dahlia. Gone forever. Into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Faust, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her, my sweet Dahlia. You never found her? Followed by river, forgone. Dahlia, my teen angel. Your teen angel? How old was she anyway? Just 14. 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. There it is! She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth 2 million. Man, oh man. Angels these days. Angels these days. I can't say it better. Boss takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really a... It's time, kitten. It looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. Diamond add to the court record. The training wheels come off now, Mia. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. Okay, have I just lost his voice? I think I'm out of water. Shoot. February 16th, 1:49 p.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Mr. Terry Falls. Does that mean very false? I don't... Terry Falls? I don't know. Now then, let's continue with the trial, Mr. Terry Fowles. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. He's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence for a motive? Yes, of course. I think. You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando. Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Really? Really? Phoenix has been taking on the dude that taught Mia things? Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge? Of course, Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like, eh? Oh God! I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why. I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true. Oh my God! I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. It looks like this witness is a real pro. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click! She lights right up. Alright. Well then, very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Melissa Foster's history. I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a policewoman. Officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified years. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. I don't even know. Alright, here we go. I don't even know. My voices feel off to me. I don't know why. Why are we not Phoenix? So what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed... It was a brutal civil war. We had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification. What kind of sob story is this? What do I do? Should I press her for details? Yeah! Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case. I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Fowles or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add that what you just stated to the official testimony? Yes, please, Mr. Judge. Naturally, I didn't know either the victim... Oh, wait, what? I was out of the country until the year before last. Wait, this got changed? I already forgot this line. So, what country are you living in then? Okay. We did all this before. Okay. Naturally, I didn't know either the victim or the defendant. You didn't know either person? Are you certain of that? Yes. I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people. Oh well, that can't be helped. Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? The first time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct? Yes. It really was a coincidence. Till I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking. You know, that sort of thing. You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. What? But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty, and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? The prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you. He's really gone too far. You know what? Edgeworth can go to hell right now. Miss Faye, you're treading on thin ice here. I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, that's... Edgeworth yours, son of a bitch! Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Oh, really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that, at the time, an officer showed her this photo. That seems like a rather serious mistake, eh? That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. Yeah, I'm losing these voices. 1 second. Armando. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair. That wicked inmate. I'll never be able to forget that horrible day. A grudge? Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful, your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client. He forgot what the detective looked like, right? You're bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. False is kind of forgetful. Press harder. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What do you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I hadn't been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad, Mr. Fowles. This is bad. Mr. Fowles' reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with the last statement? Haven't added the testimony. We already know what to do with this. Your Honor, what the witness just said now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why I... Enough. Witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. You knew about that incident? But weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about it, the escaped convict on the news. I had an in-depth report about his whole history. Industry, I read the end. So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right? Yes. I can't let her get away with these lies. Listen to me. She's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow, you're just going to have to get her to show the court her true self. When does he get poisoned? Just press her on this. What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf like he said, then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. Huh. It looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. Mr. Armando, keep looking around you and you're going to lose sight of this finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when to not talk. Actually, no. This is kind of useful, isn't it? Isn't this really useful right here? How does she know this? This is why it's useful. How do you know that? It's true. Mr. Fowles did give instructions to Valerie Hawthorne about their meeting. The note that she left said, wear a white scarf for identification. Yes, but what about it? Isn't it obvious? Doesn't it strike you as odd? That note was a secret piece of evidence. How is it that the witness knows about it? Ah! There it is! Yeah, guys! What's up with that? Order. It is odd, isn't it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, did you show top-secret evidence to the witness? Your Honor, I certainly never gave anyone permission to do such a thing. In that case, the only way the witness could know about the note before... Just a moment. Of course I didn't know about that note. It's just, I saw it when it happened, with my own eyes. When the victim went to see the killer, she used her own scarf to signal him. That's why I assumed that the signal was a white scarf. I suppose that makes sense. Come on, Mia. You can't let her weasel out of it that easily. Witness? Sorry, but your explanation isn't going to work here. But why? But it's true. That's what I saw. Impossible! There's no way you could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him. Because it's motherfudgin' blue! You've said several times in your testimony that the victim was wearing a scarf. A white scarf, correct? Yes. Is something wrong? That's what I'd like to know, Miss Foster. Have a look at this. It's the victim's scarf. Ah! I'm sure people would disagree about what color this is. However, it certainly is not white. You knew what the note said. She knew the contents of the note? No! It says wear white scarf for identification. That's the reason why you said it was white. I'm confused why she got stuck on this, because she was wearing the blue scarf herself for that fake picture, for the setup picture. How did she screw up the color? Well, Miss Foster? No! Order, order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valeria Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... We gotta put Dahlia, right? And see if it works this way. And that person is... Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There's her name, right? What's this? So who is this person, this Dahlia Hawthorne? Miss Fay must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off the Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster. I believe that's the same age you are. Huh? Why didn't she change her age? Even you couldn't. Miss Fay, you're not saying... But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Huh, nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Witness? Just who are you anyway? I'm... I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, I understand. What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue this matter this far. You don't mean... Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. What did he say? Huh. It looks like the kid knew. Are you kidding me? He knew her true identity from the get-go. Okay, I gotta mention something. So, California law, they've now made a change where the prosecutor is not allowed to try to win, but to find the freaking truth. They can't withhold evidence just for the win. They have to help find whether or not the defendant is actually guilty or innocent, as should be their job from the beginning of all goddamn time. Everything Edgeworth does is just to win. Except for, in Phoenix 2. Edgeworth is constantly just trying to win. He's not looking for the truth. His truth is bullshit. His truth is the win. That's what his truth is. Edgeworth, giving this information to the defense, could have really helped out. Instead, Edgeworth is a son of a bitch. He's not okay. Not okay. Now I know what's on my throat. I've been fighting off an illness and my tonsils are getting swollen. Okay, now I know why my voices are different. Nope, gotta power through it. He knew her true identity from the get-go. No way. But then why? If he hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That's why she uses her real name in the later case. But I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well, but well, as you can see. Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? That has nothing to do with the current case. Yes, it does. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. To her sister's Moida. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at another murder scene. Really, Miss Fay, your strategy is clearly obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost. That's what Edgeworth is doing. How dare you? Edgeworth is everything he's saying right now. Please let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious. Her big sister. Miss Fay must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. What? I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Fay, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister? Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow he's turned it around on me. Huh. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. Like, oh, sure. That wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict. Oh, I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. Huh. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets. You think you're in a tough spot, huh? Of course, aren't I? No. You've just arrived at the moment of truth. That's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you. Up to me? The rashness of youth. How charming. This is coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time, Miss Fay. What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? Abadum! What is this? Is this the fence's idea of a joke? So I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Fay? Oh, that was... the rashness of youth. The rashness of youth? And what is your point in furthering such a stereotype? That witness stayed hidden for 5 years, kitten. There must be a good reason for that. And somehow it must involve Valerie Hawthorne. Okay, one more time, Mia. You gotta read the court record more carefully this time. No, then let's not waste any more time. Okay, here we go! I thought that was it. Alright, okay, fine. The whole truth must come out. There it is. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth? And nothing but the truth. Nope. There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently. Rubber. A terrific story, Miss Fay. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Fay. What was the secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago. We believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. More testimony. Very well, I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it would be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf? Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. Here we go. 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. I decided to change my identity and start a new life. The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe after all that, she murdered her sister? Preposterous. Considering what Valerie put in her note. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Fay? Yes, Your Honor. As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We've still got that info. That ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right. It was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby. I'd do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. And that's her secret. 5 years ago. Here we go. Final confrontation. Final battle! Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes, as a tutor. You were tutoring him, Mr. Falls? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14. He probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade, and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite a clever fellow, that Mr. Falls. Did I hear him right? Did he just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. You mean dollars? It was still uncut. It was about the size of a pint of milk. A $2 million pint of milk? I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that her sister Valerie make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on the mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety. But what a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is. Yeah, right. It was all your plan. Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and... That was a dangerous thing to do considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually that saved my life. What do you mean? You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try and run away, but Mr. Falls turned in to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second, and he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin. The bloodthirsty grin? Ooh! And in the next instant... Bunk. Sploosh. I advise the court to remember that the river is only 18 feet, and incredibly swift. I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I'd been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run. And just one little shove from behind, that was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. And that's why you hid your identity? Oh, I already figured out the contradiction, but there we go. Yes, I only told my sister. Bailey Hawthorne, eh? Yes, she's the only one who knew about me. Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years. I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again. And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of. That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all the paperwork would have been impossible. She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I could kill her? There's no way I could. It's the moment of truth for this witness, too. Once the truth about this staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is. I just gotta prove that kidnapping was a hoax. Easy one. I'll just go over here. Okay, let's see if... she contradicts in words, but I don't think we have the right word for it. We'll see. Wrong one, wrong. That's not the right picture. Here it is, the Dusky Bridge. There we go. You say Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said, that's hard to believe. I should have said, that's impossible. Impossible? I said the court recalled the condition of Dusky Bridge now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind as you have claimed... land! Instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. Ooh. You're right. You're right. If the event occurred just as the witnesses testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? Huh? You see, Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness had testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What? What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's possible that Mr. Fowles panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her to the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct? Now that you mention it, I do remember now, when I fell off the bridge. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious! Order. Order in the court. It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Nope. Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning wants something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Fowles panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous! What's so impossible about that? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. Just gonna save. I have no clue what she's talking about. This evidence shows the fatal error you've made. It's a fatal error, alright. Unfortunately, the error is yours, not mine. Uh-oh, here it comes. Miss Faye, at this point in the trial, I can't just let that pass. Don't! Ouchie! Come on, Mia. Take your time and think it over again. I believe reasoning went something like this. What does it contradict? This one? Your Honor, All the answers are right here in this photo. Okay. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. Oh, yeah, yeah, yep, yeah. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. No! But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. Yeah. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him. At point-blank range. Ooh. He had this run for his money and he still wins. What? So Mr. Fowles throwing the witness off the bridge? That's clearly impossible. Gah. How does he win this case? The poisoning stopped it somehow? Order. What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? Indeed. What do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. At her gun and handcuffs, she could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river? Losing that voice. The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River. Diamond! 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her. The $2 million diamond. Oh! No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. Bang. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Oh! Dark Dahlia's out. Why, that's simply ridiculous. Order. Your Honor, 5 years ago the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia. And then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. There's evil Dahlia coming up. Who is that, laughing at a time like this? There it is. Forgive me, it's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence, at least show that. To at least show that? Well, Miss Fey? I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? Wow! How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Huh. Without evidence, the trial is over? Who decided that? Mr. Armando? Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. The testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Museum. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fowl's stolen car and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who's the one person who can testify to the demon in woman's crimes? Terry Falls? Can we really have the defendant come up? Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all. And that person is Terry Falls. This is where the court ends, because the poisoning happens. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. We have more? We have more to go? We're at an hour! Alright, okay. So we're gonna do the testimony, revelation of everything that's happened, and then Godot gets poisoned, and then it all gets wrapped up, and then we're gonna be in the new case with Phoenix. That's gonna all happen next episode! Holy crap. Alright, so that is the game for now. I had fun watching. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time. I did not expect this case to go along like this. Holy crap. Holy crap. Wow. Next time.